Filters podcast. I am your host, Jacob Thompson, and I promise I'll be drinking alcohol next week, but I'm still drinking water because we are recording on Sunday morning. And for me, it's too early to drink. But Joseph, how are you doing?
Well, I'm still on vacation. So, today I'm drinking a Fulton hard seltzer, berry flavored. So for those who
Oh,
don't know, Fulton is a local Minneapolis brewery that started making seltzer.
did not know
So
they had seltzer.
me either until I
It
bought it.
just
Mm.
yeah,
Mm.
just
So,
recent. Yeah,
yeah,
it's really good.
Huh.
yeah, it's
I'll have to pick
really
some
good.
up.
It's honestly better than like White Claw. So
You guys have tried the Bauhaus one too at some point.
yeah, they also
You try
have
the
one.
Bud Light one.
I almost did buy the Bud Light one.
Yeah,
And
dude,
I
they're
was
pretty
talking to
good.
someone there, and they're like, "Did you see that Fulton has one too?" And so I was talking to someone at the store for a while about different seltzers.
Mm.
Dude, I could go on for hours about the different
A
seltzers.
whole episode on.
Probably, if I prepare my
Next week's
thoughts.
topic: hard seltzer.
All right. Well, I'm Gabe, and I'm not an animal because it's 10 in the morning. So I am drinking
It's
a
10:40, you
protein
coward.
shake, which is also my
Lame.
breakfast because I didn't eat breakfast. So this is it.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers. Wait. Oh yeah, Jacob, you already went. I'm Dayton, and I am drinking lime Lacroix. I would be drinking a seltzer like Joseph, but I had 10 in one night, and I don't feel like having any more. So
Yikes!
I mean, you are drinking a seltzer, just not a hard
hard
seltzer.
seltzer, yeah, yeah. So I
Wait, was this last night, Dayton?
no, this is on Friday night.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
You've had a day to recover. Come on.
Y- yeah, but I just don't
Also,
feel like
Dayton,
ingesting.
I always go first. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know, but I'm out of the loop
Joseph's
right
the one who
now.
skipped the line. I'm usually.
No,
No,
you're not.
no, you're
Actually, no,
not,
I'm
Gabe.
always third. I don't know
You
why.
went second last week because we had Max on,
That's what it was.
and
Yeah.
even then
I
you
missed one
forgot to
episode,
go.
and you act like I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
exist. Jesus Christ.
By the way, I forgot to ask before the podcast, but we're just gonna talk about it right now. Is Joseph's card still say Max by his name, or does it say Joseph?
Oh yeah, it still says Max.
All
I'll
right.
change that right now.
So you're on video.
Actually,
That's
yeah, Gabe and Joseph's are mixed up right now. I'll go ahead and change that right
God
now.
damn.
That's
doing
perfect.
a live
Wait, so am
adjustment.
I Max? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it says that you're Max, and then it says that Joseph
This is Gabe.
is Gabe.
Which is worse, if I'm being honest.
Oh, fuck off.
Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. This is episode 56 of the EWF podcast. Thank you for watching and listening. As always, you can find episodes of our show every Monday on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. And you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at EWF Podcast. I keep saying Twitter. I never tweet. I should
I
probably.
know.
It's just like a pain, you know.
Well, we have
Instagram's
what?
where
I
it's
think
at.
we have 5 followers and 4 of them are us, right?
Yeah,
Can't you
but the
like
thing,
link the post so that it
You
can
yeah, but
can.
post to
I feel
both?
bad. I feel bad doing that though, because then the Twitter is just like the first half of the Instagram caption and then a link to the Instagram post. And
Right.
like, yeah, maybe it's better than nothing, but well, maybe I'll start doing that. I don't know. It's just I've said it before in the
Advertise that we
podcast
have
where
a
it's like
Twitter, but we don't use it. So
it's
why?
a vicious circle because like I don't tweet because we don't have many followers. We don't have many followers 'cause I don't tweet. So you know,
Well, maybe we should pay for like the to promote the tweets.
fuck no, we have to. We already pay to make the podcast. We start
Yeah.
using the ad rev. All right.
What's a little bit more, you know? Just
Maybe for you guys when you have big boy jobs. All right. I'm still a starving student over here.
I haven't gotten paid yet, so I can't even
Feels
can't
bad,
say.
man.
Yeah.
Feels
Alright, so
bad, man.
before we get into the big topic this week, Dayton, you got a hot update for us.
I do. So to our loyal listeners, we we did a podcast. I don't know. It was probably like it had to have
It
been
was
like a
episode
year
one.
ago.
It
It
was
was
the first
episode
one.
one.
It was episode one.
Yeah.
No, it was episode 2 because the first one was career fair.
Yeah.
No, but we did that. We did this thing at the end of that episode.
Oh, okay.
Holy
Alright,
shit.
so
Okay, yeah. So it's been like a year and a
55
half then.
episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Are you talking about the donut challenge? Because
Well, I'm getting into that. I'm getting into
Joseph doesn't
that.
know.
I saw a little bit because you guys were talking about it in our chat.
I have to
Snapchat.
I have to go into this, Joseph, okay? All right. So the challenge is you have did we cover the 6, 12, 18, 24 challenge, or did we? So did
Yeah.
that
It was
include?
just 6, 12, 18.
Yeah, there was no
Yeah.
24.
It was in
Are you
24 hours.
are you sure,
I
or
can
did we?
double check right now. I know it was only 3 numbers.
It was
Okay,
6
because
It was
because there's the hardcore one which is actually 6, 12, 18, 24, where you have to pick which amount to do 4 different things in, and those 4 different things are beers drank, miles ran, donuts eaten, and times jacked off.
I didn't know there was
Yeah,
the jack
no.
off.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I
we
just
didn't.
pulled it up. We did 6, 12, 18, and we didn't do the jack off part. We
Yeah,
just did the running,
I think we
beer,
did that
and
because we were trying to be a little bit more
PG.
PG
not even
then,
okay.
and
We
now
never even talked about the jack off thing back
it's because
then.
I didn't bring it up. I didn't bring it up because I didn't
we didn't know
want
we didn't
to
know the tone
at
of the
that time.
podcast back then. Yeah.
Yeah. But now I don't really give a shit. That's what the OG one is. So anyway, one of our loyal listeners and one of our good friends, he decided, you know what? I think I can do the 24 donuts in 24 hours. And I'm just like, dude, you're fucking insane. I don't know how you're going to even like get past like 12 donuts in 24 hours
Yeah,
personally.
yeah.
So ever since then, like he'll send me like a Snapchat maybe like once every like month, or like depending on his mindset, maybe like once a week, about how he thinks that he can do this and he can't get it out of his head. It's like a freaking it's like one of those persistent, thoughts that you have. It's like the
He's haunting
intrusive
at night.
intrusive
Yeah.
thoughts. It's like when he goes past, like when you're driving, you're like, oh dude, if I like swerved into this other lane, I would like die. Like those type of thoughts, like the call of the void. This is like a call of the void for this guy. He just anytime he walks past Dunkin' Donuts, which I mean out here they're pretty freaking they're everywhere. I have like 2 within like a quarter mile of me. So they're very persistent. It was a persistent thought for him. And this weekend he attempted and succeeded.
Wow.
So he sent me over. This was Friday night in his preparations. He sent me over this spreadsheet that he made, which unfortunately I won't be able to show on here because I didn't think to prepare it. But
That's all right. Yeah. It's the
damn,
most
I
Michigan
must
Tech
have
thing
closed
ever.
it. But
Making a
anyway,
spreadsheet.
so he
I know. It's
so
donuts.
he had each of the donuts 1 through 24 accounted for, the
They were
time that he
24
ate them.
glazed, by the way. They were
24
just
glazed.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yep.
What kind of donuts are these?
Dunkin'.
Krispy Kreme?
They're Dunkins.
But like, are they yeast donuts or are they cake donuts?
think
Yeah,
they're
I'd assume they're
yeast.
yeast donuts.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
So
God.
he had the date, or not the date, the time, the donut, his confidence in eating it, and like how good he felt about eating the donuts, like 1 through 10. 10 being good, 1 being like horrible, fucking off me right now,
Mm.
and then he had a comment next to it, and then also he was recording his shits that he was taking throughout the day, and his weight. He weighed himself the night before, and then at the end, or near the end, and then at the end. So he weighed in at 181 at the very beginning. Pretty normal weight. And then towards the end, I think when he had consumed either 18 or 20 donuts, he he weighed in at 191.
Oh my god.
He had gained 10 pounds in 1 day.
Holy shit,
and
dude.
and simultaneously, his notes for taking his shits were very constipated. I cannot get anything out. And, and he sent me this. He was Snapchatting me throughout the day. So
Oh my
I
God.
was taking screenshots of all of his
It's so funny.
pictures that he sent me. And he sent me a picture of his stomach.
Is it just bloated as shit?
Yes.
For
yes.
the audio listeners, anyway.
Yes. Which, why can I not? Oh, here we go.
Because you're on the spot, that's why you can't find it. That's how
Yeah.
it works.
All right, so if it'll,
Oh,
you can't really see it that well, but like that's a side shot, and you can see like he's normally a very skinny guy, and
yeah.
you can see that he's just like extremely bloated in this, and it's just like bruh.
'Cause he probably
Um,
it's probably all he ate that day. I mean, you couldn't even risk eating anything else.
So he
He's, like,
said
drinking
he
water.
said that he ate some eggs and some cheese, I think. All right, here I've got the donut day spreadsheet
yeah.
pulled up on my phone. So yeah, he attempted to take 6 shits yesterday. Here
Did
are
he
the
fail every time?
here are the notes. Here are the notes. Single nug, hangover shits, slight constipation, average size poop. This was at 10:22 a.m. when he had only eaten 8 donuts.
Only.
And then at 12:05 p.m., so midday, much more constipation. And then at 8:40, so 8 hours later, 1 nug but otherwise constipated. All right, and here I'll read through some of his comments for. And
I want to see like the confidence level just plummet.
Yeah, it's
Well-
probably just it probably fucking like flatlines at like donut 12. That's where I'm putting my
so
money
he took a little bit of a break in like the middle of the day to kind of recover a little bit. So you'll see like a resurgence in the
Confidence.
confidence level. But here's some of his comments. Comment 1: a little intimidated, a little hungover, but ready. And then he just freaking slams 6 donuts right out of the gates.
Oh my god.
And it goes confidence level 998876. Stomach hurts, sugar rush. Next donut, lesson learned, pacing. Next donut, the taste is really getting to me. And then by noon, in 4 hours, he had finished 12 donuts. He says 1 box down, but my body kind of wants to puke. And then after that, he took a multivitamin, took a little bit of a nap.
It's like a multivitamin.
Like
That'll help.
that's his saving grace. That's his saving
Yeah,
grace
that's
right
what
here.
that's what didn't kill him.
So
That's
at the
trick
end of
to
that,
eat so much.
when he had consumed 12 donuts, a full dozen, in 4 hours, actually less than 4 hours, in about 3 hours, you can see that his confidence level ended at 5. And then after the nap, and he got one, he got a donut. He also ate a banana and 3 eggs and cheese, and his confidence level went back up to 7. And then he kept on eating them, went
Did he
back down to
exercise at all?
7. What?
Did he exercise at all?
There's no way.
No, I don't think
His
so.
Stomach would
Gotta
feel like
burn some of that
shit.
sugar. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure
Um,
afterwards, but like.
And then by donut number 19, so he's nearing the home stretch. Note to self: don't do this again. and then his 20th donut is the first time his confidence level dipped down to 4. And
Okay.
then but it's interesting because then he took a 30-minute break and it went back up to 6. The fact that the taste hasn't changed over time is disgusting. And then his 22nd donut, confidence level 4, and then 23 and 24 were both 1s.
Yeah.
I'd do anything to not eat this. I'm going to shit bricks. So the madman actually ate 24 glazed donuts in 24 hours,
The fact
and
that it
actually
was so
well
well
before
documented
24
is
hours. It was
just
actually like
excellent.
18 hours.
Oh,
So
so he got it in 18.
he did. He actually could have done it in 12 if he like really fucking pushed himself. But obviously he was not in the shape to do that.
The fact that he gained 10 pounds blows my mind.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So he had by 12 he had eaten 12 donuts. So like in 3 hours, that means that he's averaging 4 donuts an hour for the beginning.
Oh
Um,
god.
I feel
but-
like you gotta front load it though,
He
You know,
and
yeah.
he really
Well, you
did.
did.
He really
Yeah.
did.
because
But-
at the end you're not gonna want to
Dude,
shove donuts.
This
down
is
did he calculate how much like sugar?
plans for the day.
yeah. There's all the donuts that
Snapchat.
he ate. He calculated how many calories it was, and I think he said it was like 10,000 calories.
Fuck, dude.
God.
Because I think
It's
he
all
said
that-
empty
that's-
calories too.
I
Yeah,
think
it's
he
all
said
just
that the
sugar.
donuts were like 300 calories a piece or something like that. So 3 times 24, maybe it was like 8,000 calories.
Still,
Yeah, it's still a shit ton.
god damn. He needs
but
to
yeah.
work his ass off like in the next like week to burn that shit off.
But yeah, so he did it. I am immensely proud of him for doing it.
Yeah, we
Except I
salute you,
think
Sean.
I think that he learned his lesson in that 24 donuts is not a reasonable choice for that one. Um,
Somebody had to do the science.
somebody had to do the science, and he's a brave man. He's a brave man for doing
He is.
this.
Wasn't the original challenge you have to do all like four of those things within one day?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 24 hours.
Yeah, so there's no way you could eat 24 donuts and have time or energy
Yeah,
to do the other three things.
he said that he would have done six jerk offs, 12 beers, 18 miles, and 24 donuts. So that was
After
his.
this, he did that?
No,
Or no?
that was his
Oh,
original.
okay.
I
I was
asked him
gonna say.
yesterday. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
his original. So there's absolutely no way that he could have done 18 miles yesterday. I don't think. Maybe if you
No.
continuously walked the entire time,
Yeah.
then
And like
I
ate
could.
the donuts while you
I
were
could see
walking or
it.
something.
I feel like
but-
that'd be the only way to do it.
But yeah.
Like you do some
But
double
it's
duty.
running. It's not walking miles. It's miles ran, right?
Okay,
Yes,
jog.
except like I think
Miles
I'd
traveled is
be
probably
okay. I'd be okay with just miles traveled, honestly.
Okay.
on
Okay.
foot. Yeah.
On foot.
Yeah.
I mean, even just walking for a long time still takes it out of you. Like,
Yeah.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Definitely. But yeah,
God
there's a
damn.
small update regarding the challenge, and I think we should have a little we should revisit that in a little bit with this new evidence, maybe in like a few weeks or
This
something
new
like
evidence
that.
brought to light.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Keep that in our back pocket. I like it.
Still too many miles ran. 18 miles?
Mhm.
That's what's a marathon? 26 miles?
26.2.
Yeah.
But you don't have to do it all in one go.
Yeah, but you still have to do
If you
it all
train,
in one
though, you
day.
could do that in 4 hours.
You would have to train for it for sure. Like it wouldn't be something you could wake up and like I'm gonna do this.
Would
Well, if you broke it up and you did like 3 different runs of 6 miles, wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is not the topic for
Yeah,
today.
sorry.
All right.
Our topic is very topical because, as you all know, Valentine's Day was just a few days ago. You know, the day that Hallmark created to sell cards, and in honor of Valentine's Day, we're gonna talk about breakups.
What did Saint Valentine do? He did something.
I don't know. But I
There's
know
a
about the
s-
St. Valentine's Day massacre.
Yeah.
Enough shit to become considered a saint. I don't know.
Well, yeah.
But
I know he like obviously was saying I just didn't know what it was for.
Joseph, you look into that. Well, Gabe, you intro your deal.
Yeah, so it's convenient that it's Valentine's Day, and that's why we're talking about it. Not because I put it off for 3 weeks.
Thinking about
No, this is something I wanted to talk about, but I think the reason that it took so long is just because my thoughts have changed a lot on the topic. So I guess for some context, I've talked about Patty a lot on the show before, but we ended up breaking up after we finished school. To put it like simply, just because I went to Minneapolis and she didn't, like she went back to Illinois. So it was a very mutual thing, but it was like the first time I've had like a really long-term relationship of a breakup and like going through those feelings, and I just thought that we could talk about them on like the bad side and the good side and see how your guys' experience compare.
Yeah, and on that note, I'll just quickly interject here. I'm mostly gonna mediate this conversation because it's kind of hard to have a breakup when you haven't had a long-term relationship. So I'm just gonna try to be, asking questions and mediating and shit. But it's mostly gonna be Gabe, Dayton, and Joseph on this. So
That's what a good
Okay.
host does.
yeah.
But I just wanted to open it up. This is such a different topic than the donuts thing. It's such a weird
This is a hard left turn.
I know. I'm trying to shift gears to like a more serious tone when we're talking about like gaining 10 pounds eating fucking donuts.
That's what the podcast is.
Hey,
baby.
maybe that's a reason for a breakup. Who knows? Maybe it's because
Yeah.
you gained 10 pounds because you were eating too many damn donuts. That's why you decided to break up.
Maybe.
Maybe that's how you deal with a breakup.
Yeah.
Who's to say?
Yeah. that's what I need to do. I just need to eat 24 donuts. I'll feel better afterwards,
Mhm.
right?
Definitely. Definitely.
definitely
Your
will
body
feel
will feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Physically.
Yep.
Just so some opening thoughts. This isn't like obviously we're not gonna be like shitting on our exes or anything. Like that's not the point of this.
Mhm.
But I just want to talk about like
Joseph made a
no.
face like, wait, that's what I was gonna do.
No. Hold on. I've been reading up on Saint Valentine. He's the
Oh.
patron saint of epilepsy.
Oh.
What?
What does
Yeah,
that
that's
mean?
what my face was for. Like,
Oh, well, the
Patron saint of-
context of you making that face is way funnier.
But no, so he died on February 14th, so that's why Saint Valentine's Day is February 14th. From the high Middle Ages, his saint's day has been associated with the tradition of courtly love. He is also the patron saint of epilepsy. So,
I don't know what that means.
not as cool as Saint Patrick, if you ask me, because he got all the snakes out of Ireland. But
Huh.
it doesn't really say. It says he was a martyr, so like that could be part of the reason that he was
Probably.
Interesting.
anointed.
So you're saying is if you have epilepsy, you should pray to Saint Valentine? Is that
don't
what the
know.
patron saint means? Whatever. We're getting in the weeds.
But also, some people, in the Eastern Orthodox Church, his saint's day is recognized as July 6th, and
Yeah.
some on July 30th, and some people don't celebrate Saint Valentine's Day at all.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
Saint Valentine's Day is different than Valentine.
I know. It was a
I
fucking
don't think-
joke.
Well, it was a
I don't think
shitty
any
joke,
of us
all right?
celebrated Valentine's Day this year.
Nope.
Anyways, I wanted to talk. Well, the first thing I have list. I wrote down stuff because I have a tendency to ramble. So I want to talk about like the initial feelings, just because, like I said, it was kind of hard for me to sort through them, even to like talk about it now. And our relationship was weird because we kind of like we had a set date that we were gonna break up because we were gonna be moving away. So it made it really fucking weird because it was like we were planning for it, I guess. So I had this time to like emotionally, like there was some emotional distancing between the both of us. And I thought that I was gonna handle it like fine, I'll just move on, whatever. And that did not happen. I think there are some other factors just because like my life changed so quickly in these last couple months, where like I went from like something very familiar with school to being in Minneapolis and like having a full-time job, and all that stuff it's a lot of like change at once. But what were your guys' like initial feelings from breakups? Because I think it changes on who's breaking up or who's getting broken up, I guess.
Like, yeah, the circumstances of it.
Right. So like this one I thought that I'd be okay because like I said, it was planned, but I think that almost kind of makes it weird because it's not like there's a justifiable reason. It's not like, oh, fuck this person. They cheated on me or whatever. Like it's just like I don't know. But in high school I broke up with a girl and like I don't remember being all that upset about it, to be honest. So I guess it just I mean it's high school.
Yeah, I
guess it
was
just
high school, probably a shorter relationship.
Yeah, it was only a couple months. So I guess it just depends on like the circumstances. But what are your guys' experiences? Jacob, you first.
And I'm gonna pass over to Dayton.
Okay. I guess both. So I had two girlfriends in college. The first one was
Dude, let's dox them. What's their full
we
name and address?
we had broken up just because I had lost interest. Except I didn't. I was just kind of like I was kind of too big of like a wuss to like break up with her. So like we stayed together for like longer than we should have, and then it just kind of like fell apart. Which I mean, it's a pretty shitty thing to do, obviously. But what can I say? I've
It's hard
changed.
to rip off that Band-Aid.
I've changed in the past 4 years, and I've matured a little bit more. And then my second one, we broke up like twice, I think. First time was before I went to New Zealand, and that was for similar reasons as what Gabe's last one was that I was going to be away for like 5 months, and neither of us really wanted to stay together for that. And then when I got back home, we got back together, and then she said that she was going to go join the Peace Corps, and then we were just like, okay, yeah, this isn't going to work, so we kind of broke it off again. But yeah, I would say both of those were pretty amicable. I mean, I still get along with both of them, still talk to both of them. Well, the first one I don't really talk too much anymore, but yeah, I wouldn't say any like there's no like negative feelings towards either of them. But I don't know. Is there anything else that you wanted to?
Well, I was just thinking like emotionally, like was that one more difficult than the first
Oh,
one?
yeah, yeah. My second one was a lot more difficult than my first. My first one I was just kind of like, I
You
don't
already
think I was.
lost interest
Yeah,
once
you're kind
again.
of already over it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, then the second one, yeah, it was so long ago that I don't like. Was it really that long ago? I guess it
It
was
was what,
like,
third year?
Two
So
years
2
ago.
years ago.
yeah. I don't know. I don't remember crying, but I remember just being like,
Oh, look at Dayton, too good to shed tears. He's too big.
no, because I think, well, when we first broke up, I was just like, well, this is kind of shitty, but we've only been together for like, I don't know, 8 months, I think, or something like that. And then I was just like, all right, whatever, I'll move on. It was I accepted that it was shitty though. And then when we got back together, I was just like, oh, cool, all right. And then that lasted for like 2 months, and then we broke up again. So yeah.
Like similar to what Game was saying, did it make things easier or harder that there was kind of a date for it, like that you were leaving, so you kind of had to break up by then?
Um, I wasn't a fan of it personally because
Yeah.
basically how it ended up working is that we we knew that I was gonna leave on like, I don't know what it was, like mid
February
February
something, yeah.
for New Zealand. So then we broke up in like January or something like that, and then I was still up at Tech working, and so like we still kept on like hanging out and like talking and everything like that, but like we weren't together. I'm just like, what the hell, like. So the date didn't like do anything for me. I don't know. It just that doesn't work for me.
Yeah. I almost wonder if it would have been better if it was just like we realized like we saw the fork in the road, like the moment we saw the sign, we're like, all right, bye.
Yeah, yeah, and I
But
mean, I
it
think,
goes back to like being a wuss. Like it's comfortable and you know that
But like,
about
mhm,
also,
the
isn't it kind of
relationship.
hard too? Because like, okay, let's say you do that. Like, oh, I see you in the future, like in a month, I'm gonna be leaving. You're leaving. Like, let's just break up now. But then the person's still there. Like, they're still like around. Maybe you don't hang out. They're not like around you all the time, but like they're
mhm,
Yeah.
still in the city, and like you feel like, well, we
Yeah.
could hang out. I don't
mhm,
know.
I don't think there's a good way to do it when
yeah,
that situation comes up, to be honest.
And
yeah,
two, we went to such a small school that like
You see him around all
you're
the time.
gonna see him,
yeah,
you know.
yep.
Yeah.
Regardless,
Yeah.
so yeah, yeah. It didn't, and it. I don't know what it was like for you, Gabe, but like for the first time that I broke up with the first time that my second girlfriend and I broke up, it was like both of us still had like feelings, like a lot of feelings for each other, but we were just like, yeah, like 5 months of extreme long distance is probably not good. So like
Yeah.
I think
I
that's
mean,
probably a contributing factor to why we kept on hanging out until like I left.
hmm yeah, it definitely is kind of similar where like we obviously still had feelings when we broke up, um, regardless of trying to emotionally distance. But
Hmm.
there was like a conversation that I had with her probably like a month ago, where she basically said that she, even if there was circumstances, she didn't want to get back if there was an opportunity to. So that definitely changed my perspective on it, I guess. And like
Hmm.
as shitty as it was to hear, I guess like it helps me like kind of process through it, like knowing that there isn't like a oh what if or
Yeah, yeah.
holding on to it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like oh what if she was here or whatever. So
Yep, yep. I think that's a good mindset.
yeah, and I'll talk to that more during the bad stuff section. But move on.
Okay.
Joseph, what about you? What were your feelings like when you broke up with your girlfriends?
So I I dated two girls in college, and for all intents and purposes, those are the only. I mean, other than like middle school relationships, like those are the really
Those
the
don't
only.
count.
Yeah, so those are like the only two girls that I've dated, and
Got a
one.
kiss on the playground.
Yeah. Got to do group. Oh my god. Not that's a tangent, but we had to do a group hug at one point for this one girl I dated in middle school because her parents were nearby and she didn't want her to hug other boys. It was a dumb. It was pretty fucking funny.
Middle school scheming, baby.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. It was pretty good. Anyway, so I started dating this girl at the end of high school, and we ended up going to school together for college. And we broke up. Would have been
Second year.
second year. Yeah.
Second year spring break or winter break.
It was
Yeah, just after winter break, and that was hard on me because I dated her for 3 years.
Yeah, because you guys got dated a couple years in high school, right?
Yeah,
Or is
like
it 1
the
year?
It was the end of junior year that we started dating. So yeah, I think 3 years. And so at at that point I was 20 when we broke up. So like 3 years, that's over 10% of my life. You know, that's a long time at that age.
Mhm.
And even like still, it's quite a while. So like that hurt a lot, and that took me, as you guys know, took me a while to kind of work through that. I was pretty immature at the time. I still am, not gonna lie. But I had issues going through that. But I don't know. It needed to be done, and I definitely put it off way longer than I should have. It was overall pretty rough. Um, definitely don't. It was definitely not amicable.
Yeah.
None of us like did anything malicious, but there was just a lot of hurt feelings. At least I didn't do anything purposefully malicious. I don't know about her, but
Well, I think she felt that I did some malicious things.
Yeah, she totally blamed you.
So Joseph and I were
so-
roommates at the time.
yeah.
And
you weren't a big fan of her.
I was not a big fan of her. No. Yeah, I think we can just leave it there.
And
Yeah,
but
we
yeah.
don't need to go any further.
and I forget who told me. It was either like one of her friends or something. Shit, I don't even remember who it was, but yeah, said that that she blamed Dayton for us breaking up, which is funny because I had thought about it long before Dayton and I were roommates.
which means that Joseph had been scheming it for the past 6 months, like before they'd actually
Yeah.
broken up.
They
It was a
just
while.
gave him the nudge he needed, right? He was like that devil, like on your shoulder, like, do it.
Well, that sounds
Do
similar to
it.
Dayton's first relationship, where it's like, you feel like you probably should break it off, but it's hard to
Yeah,
have the balls to do it.
definitely.
I would say the difference was that, and Dayton kind of mentioned that he stopped putting as much effort into
Mhm.
it, and I think that I put on a better face of it and didn't show as much that I was thinking about it.
Right.
So,
So it kind of came as a shock.
so it kind of
like
came out
for her.
of the blue for her. Even though to me I'd been not scheming, but like stewing over this.
Yeah.
Stewing over it and thinking about
Just like writing on a fucking whiteboard. The yarn strings.
yeah, the fucking It's Always Sunny bit where you got all this shit behind. But yeah, so I don't know. I think it was a lot harder for her than it was for me, but I still did not take it well. And then my second relationship, we dated about a year, and my mindset with that was I knew how rough I was after my previous relationship, and knowing that I was graduating soon, I kind of said, I don't know where I'm gonna be, and she was a grade below us. She was gonna graduate after, and I know you're gonna be here, and I could be. At the time, I didn't know I was coming to Minneapolis. I could have been in Detroit. I could have been in like the Southwest Michigan,
Connecticut?
where I'm from, Connecticut. I ended up applying to a job in
Who would wanna go there?
Alabama, like, yeah, honestly. But I didn't know where I was gonna be. I had no plan, and I knew that we didn't do well with distance, and so I kind of said that, and like these are my thoughts. Like, I'm not saying we have to break up, but I'm saying like I want time to recover before I'm alone in a new city, because that's probably what's gonna happen. I don't want to be in. Yeah.
Gabe just did like the woohoo.
And I didn't want to be in that position, you know. And like you're lucky, you know, you've got 3 good friends here,
I am very lucky. That's
and
some of the good stuff.
I
Getting
didn't realize that I didn't know if that was going to be an option for me.
Mhm.
there. Right.
So
Yeah, that's fair.
I just kind of took the situation as I saw, and I said that to her a little too drunk, and
It was not the best circumstances to go over those things.
yeah, I can admit that. And we talked about it for a while afterwards, and we didn't break up right then and there. But
Stay in control of
Just
yourself.
it's just the fact that you brought it up while you were drunk. Like like I don't know. That's just like
I was
I could.
thinking about it while I was drunk, and she's like, "Something's on your," and I was like, "Nah, it's fine." And she's
And
like,
then
"You look mopey," and I was like, "I really don't want to talk about it." She's like, "We can talk about it." And I'm like, "I don't want to."
Yeah.
Right? And so we ended up talking about
So
it.
I guess Joseph, you did kind of see the end of the tunnel and get out early. Not make that,
That one I
that sound
did.
bad, but you know what I mean. Like compared to
That
Gabe and Dayton, like.
Yeah, that one I did, because I had that previous experience where I was
Mhm.
like, you know, I can either rip this band-aid off with my friends around me and have, you know, have laughs with you guys while I'm, you know, going through this, or I can wait till just before I graduate, or, you know, whatever. Wait longer, have less time to recover with you guys, and just be shit out on my own, you know.
Mhm.
And I didn't want to be alone and sad because I had just broken up and, you
Mhm.
know, all these things.
Yeah, it's not a healthy mix.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I put and like I just in some of the notes I put, instead of taking it gracefully, I latched on and ways to preserve the relationship, second guess myself on how I handled it, and find ways to repair it. I think that's also like a reason why I waited so long, or like we waited so long to end it.
I feel like
Gotta-
that's like bargaining, like the 5 steps of grief.
Yeah,
Isn't
no,
bargaining like number 2 or something like that?
it's
Yeah.
somewhere
Well,
around
I
there.
guess you don't. I don't think you go through them like sequentially necessarily, but it's one of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
ways that people deal
And
with
that's
grief.
definitely passed now that it's been some time. And like I said, just from the couple weeks even thinking about talking about this, the feelings have changed a lot. So it's, I mean, getting there to acceptance. I'm pretty damn near close, but it was still something that you have to go through. I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And then the second big thing that I wanted to talk about, like on the bad side of things, is just kind of what Joseph was saying. Really, is like the feeling of like loneliness, and to me, I put a relationship essentially 2 close friends who happen to pork.
Jesus.
Yikes.
Just straight to the point,
way to
Gabe.
look at it.
Just
Wow.
I just wrote that as a joke, but I mean,
I hope she listens to this and
Holy
she'd know I'm joking. I'm just messing around. No, but seriously, like it's a close friendship is what it is, right? Like you're
Mhm.
really close with this other person, and to a point where, ideally, I mean, in a healthy relationship, you're supporting each other, right?
Mhm.
Like they'll help support you through your trials and all that fun stuff, and vice versa, and they're always there to talk to you and all that stuff. And then having that just kind of go away, whether that be like out of the blue or like even planned, it really sucks to not have that like person to always talk to.
Mhm.
Which is good why I have friends around here, but I mean even then, like I had to distract myself like constantly, like 100% of the time, because if I had any bit of downtime, like I'd start thinking about it, um, and
Yeah,
that's
like
still something
it's almost
good.
better, like, well, all right, so I'm gonna say it's better without having any experience with this, but it's almost better to have like a bad breakup, or like having like a legitimate reason for a breakup, like, oh, they cheated on me, or
Right? Because it's justifiable, right?
right, right, and
Yeah,
it's
we're talking
it's
about
easier
Gabe
to be
about
like,
this.
why the hell would I want to be with them anymore? Like they cheated on me, or they were abusive, or something like that. But then again, like I don't know of the other emotional effects that would have on your future relationships. Like sure, it might
Yeah.
make it makes one aspect of it easier, but I feel like it makes the other aspects a lot harder.
Mm,
Yeah,
that's a
for
good point.
sure.
Yeah, obviously, we can't really speak too much on that because none of us have experienced that kind of breakup. But
Hmm.
yeah, I didn't think about the future aspect of it because yeah, Gabe and I were talking yesterday. I'm like, yeah, I feel like it'd be easier if there was yeah, like they cheated on me, because you can just kind of just write them off and just be done with it, and you don't have to
Hmm.
like think about them ever again. But you're right, maybe in like a future relationship, then you'd be
Like
more
have
wary
trust
or less
issues
less
and
trusting. Yeah, so
yeah.
that's
Well, I mean, obviously not to the same scale, but my first girlfriend, like her family and my family were good friends from a small town, so like everybody knows everybody. And last I know, which I haven't talked to her at all since pretty much right after the breakup. But last I heard, she still won't even make eye contact with my family, which is the funniest shit to me.
It's just
Because like that's
childish.
so goddamn petty. But like I like obviously it's not the same level, but I think having that where it's like okay, there is no chance, like, and even like having that as like a reminder of something in my past, like, and how I move forward with that. I do think it has helped me,
Hmm.
especially to go on that point of, one was because, the relationship was done, and the other kind of because of a deadline, more
Hmm.
or less.
Yep.
But
Right. I mean, and that just kind of like going through. I mean, kind of what Dane was saying. I mean, there really is like going through stages of grief, like when you're so attached to someone.
Hmm.
And like through like it was a 3 year relationship, so that's like hard to, well, almost three. But I mean, it just having that person all the time, it just like, and just having it stop is just, it's not ideal sometimes.
Hmm.
But I
Hmm.
mean,
Vic.
I've reached out a lot to you guys and listened to me fucking complain about my life. But I mean, it's nice to have those. It's nice to have those friends that can listen and like even um, like when I get in my own head, have you guys like actually have speak some fucking reasons sometimes and like
mm.
realize some shit that I'm thinking or doing is stupid. So
Back on the loneliness thing after a breakup date. Did you feel that at all going to New Zealand after you broke up with your second girlfriend for the first time?
No, no, I really didn't. I think because I was just so preoccupied with
With like
um,
the new stuff?
with so many new things, and then especially because um, like we were kept very busy for like the first like week or two.
Yeah.
Um, like we everything was planned. Like we had strict plans for like where we were gonna go, what we were gonna do. Um, so that made it super easy. And then also just having like so many young people around was like really helpful. Um,
right.
Mm.
I mean, like obviously I wasn't close with them yet, but just having people that were
To
open
connect.
minded and like just being able to like create new friendships, I think helped a lot. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah, for me, I mean, it was a struggle coming here quick because like every weekend up until that point, because we kind of did like semi distance, like I spent the whole fucking weekend with this person, and now I have my weekends back, which is just that's a bad way to put it, but like I
I
have,
know what you mean. Yeah.
can't
but
be
I have.
porking on the weekends anymore.
It's just weird because it's just like I have all this time, and it's like I don't have school anymore, so like I just have all this time, and like I mean, the people that I work with, I mean, they're relatively young, but they're still like, have a wife and kids type of young, and it's like, I don't know, it's definitely helpful that you guys are here, to like combat that. But I mean, sometimes there's just so much downtime. It's like, well, fuck, like, yesterday Jacob was doing school and I didn't have anything to do, so
Yeah. We ended up doing something though
yeah,
in the afternoon, but yeah.
right.
Yeah, because
I
yeah, I guess
think
you're used to having not only your weekend like free, but like you spend it with your significant other
Yeah.
like the whole
And,
time.
and also like I've always lived with friends. I mean, I'm in a temporary spot right now, so like
Mhm.
if I got bored, I could just like knock on a door and be like, "Let's go fucking do something." But now I just kind of like, all right, like what do I do?
Mhm.
It's just a weird adjustment. It's a lot of adjustment. So
I think I mean, so like in my experience, like with my second breakup, it was super weird because it was um, like that was the only aspect of my life that changed, right?
Hmm.
mm,
So like you lose that having that person to talk to constantly.
Mm.
And because that was the only aspect that changed, I think it was pretty hard on me. It was like, okay, now what do I do? Like, get out of class. All right, check my phone. Oh, unless, one of you guys sent something dumb to the group chat, it's like, okay, there's nothing, nothing really new going on or whatever.
Mm.
But I think with Dayton going to New Zealand after that breakup, I wonder if, um, because you didn't have us to talk to, like your whole everything changed,
Yeah. Yeah.
along with that, so that it
It
wasn't
just
like
felt like change.
it wasn't this one aspect that changed and everything else felt, because like obviously we're not gonna change just because you broke up with your girlfriend and
Mhm.
vice versa. We're not, our dumb shenanigans aren't gonna end. So like it's not like it feels like it's only happening to you. Like I think if that makes sense. Whereas like where you moving to New Zealand for
Mhm.
these months,
Yeah, it's like a
it's like
complete change in mindset almost. It's like
so like you almost miss that one aspect of it.
mhm. Yeah,
I
it's
Right.
like
wouldn't
it's
say
like
miss it.
jumping
You
into like an
miss
ice
that
bath
change.
Yeah.
where it's like
You don't
complete
notice it.
complete routine shock, I'll call
Yeah.
it, where everything has changed and therefore your body just like is like, all right, everything's new. I gotta fucking brace up for this shit,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and then like you just handle it better. I don't know. That's interesting.
Hmm.
Hmm.
One
Yeah, I
thing.
definitely think the distractions are like the best. Distractions is kind of a bad word. Like I don't know, like you because I've had all this time, like I'm starting to like use it or trying to think of it more in a positive way. It's like I can do all these other things I want to do. I can like play video games on the weekend and not feel guilty like I'm, um,
Ignoring somebody.
ignoring someone, right? When you can only see each other on the weekends. You know, there's a lot of other like upsides to it.
Hmm.
It just seeing it in a different perspective, I guess, to get used to it.
Yeah,
So.
that's one thing I want to. What I've observed, and that's interesting. So like, a lot of people say it's good to be single for sometimes so you can work on yourself, right? And I've heard that a lot. And as someone who's been single pretty much his entire life, it's like I've always been like, is that true? Like, I don't know, like how much that you can actually do without being like very active and trying to work on yourself. But it's interesting hearing you guys talk about like after a breakup how you have like this kind of hole like in your schedule,
Hmm.
even.
Mm-hmm.
And what's interesting is like to me, like I know how to fill up my schedule by myself because I've had to do it for so long. And to me, thinking of like if I started dating somebody, it'd be like, okay, how do I fit them in? As opposed to like you guys, now that they're gone, what do I fill that time with?
Hmm.
You know? So I guess now I kind of get that phrase more because I mean, when you're single, you can kind of figure out how to fill all the time by yourself, and you have friends and stuff too. But like it gives you a chance to, how to exist on your own and still be happy. And then when then you meet somebody like new again, then you can try to figure out how to work them in and have fun with them and stuff. But um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I guess I haven't really thought of it like that. Actually, it's an interesting thought. But
It's like
I don't.
I don't know. Obviously I'm not like the definitive answer on this, but it might be good to have a good amount of time being single after a breakup so that you can figure out how to like live with yourself and then, have somebody enter in again.
Yeah, instead of jump into something super quick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Try
for
to fill
sure.
that hole as opposed like yeah, I think it's like either you fill that hole with yourself or you fill it with somebody else. Not to be sexual about it, but like
I
uh
was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
I know it's like
Pork.
That's the word you're looking for.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I mean, you definitely see there's some people like the moment they're out, they're looking for the next one. Like I have a couple people that have been
Yep.
around my life where that they break up with someone and they find the next person like as soon as possible, like a
Yep.
month, like a couple months. Um, and I
Definitely.
definitely think that having as much space as I did, because I mean I've had almost 3 months at this point, and it's good to like recalibrate, like and re-examining how I view things. Like I was saying before, there was points where I having this time is like a good thing if I like look at it in like more of a positive light and like seeing how I can just use that time in a different way, or like use it to work on myself. And there's other things that I still want to do, that now that I do have the time to do. I just need the motivation now.
Mhm.
But it's good to like have that mental, I don't know, check in with yourself, because you kind of like, at least for me, you reevaluate like where you're at, who you are, and like, all right, now what do you want to improve next, right? Like,
Hmm.
there are some things that I've realized. Kind of, actually, this is kind of going to the good part stuff. I think that this is a BoJack thing, Jacob. You're gonna like it. I'm gonna like
Yeah.
BoJack. It's not a spoiler, but the last season they talk about these two characters get together, like on and off for a while, and they're just not a good fit. At the end, they say that it was a good thing that they were together, because they wouldn't be who they were without it. Like, they wouldn't be the same person. They wouldn't have the same aspirations, and I think that's a very like profound thing for. I mean, that show has tons of profound things to say, but I think that it's really true. Like, there's a lot of things that you don't. I mean, I wouldn't be the same person if I didn't do it, even though if it did hurt. So.
Hmm. Yeah, basically, yeah, it's like you can have people in your life, but they may not stay in your life, and that's okay because they
Hmm.
made you who you are.
Right,
Mhm.
and
You
they
can,
definitely, and they see you in a different perspective too. For like, they could see some strengths in you that you don't even see, or things to work on that you didn't even know you needed to work on.
hmm.
And even in
Yeah,
the relationship itself, I mean, I've identified some things that I've done that I wish I would have done better. Um,
yeah.
and that kind of went back to in the bargaining phase, where it's like, well, what did I do wrong? But I
Mhm.
still think that information is useful, because it's like in my conscious. It's not something I'm doing subconsciously and like pissing off someone. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess going off of that, and Dayton and Joseph, I'll pitch this to you guys a little bit on the spot, but like, what's something you've learned about yourself from your past relationships, or like something that you learned that improved you from your past relationships? And
I'd
I'll
say
give
a
you a
lot
second to
of
think
them.
about it, because I'll give you a second to think about it, because I can talk quick. Because I had a friendship that ended within the last year that I had for a long time. It was like someone I was friends with since middle school, and then we ended up having a falling out and kind of quote unquote breaking up at the end of college, just because we kind of just grew apart. And you know, that friendship I had with him was kind of replaced with friendship I had with you guys, which is kind of shitty, but it just kind of what happened. And
Sorry, I was laughing because like the way that I took that was like it's shitty that you replaced him with us. Like
Yeah, like in a
that's how I
downgrade.
like heard that.
Yeah.
So.
well, it was more like to put it this way, it's my friendship with him was based on mutual interest, not
Mhm.
on necessarily like deep emotional connection.
Mhm.
And it's very easy to replace a friendship that's based mostly on mutual interest.
Yeah.
And it's hard to maintain that type of friendship over distance. Um,
Right.
I'll just put it that way. And I kind of botched the end of that friendship. I wish I would have done things differently and talked to him sooner about things, but I didn't, and it kind of blew up. But what I would say is I'm still happy. I have no like hard feeling against him, because being friends with him for that long made me who I am, and my sense of humor and the things I am interested in, and all the things I really like about myself. So I don't like hate him for that, but we don't really talk anymore, and that's just how things are. It's kind of how life goes. So
Yeah.
you know
Mhm.
you can learn something from everybody. But yeah, I
Definitely.
guess Dayton and
Right.
Joseph, do you have any?
Yeah. So I think in my first college breakup, I think what I learned is just to not draw things out longer than they need to be, and just kind of I like realize that it's gonna be shitty regardless. So like don't be an asshole about it. I don't know, like
Why not be
stop
shitty now?
stop being like stop being immature about it. Um,
Yeah.
and then the second one, um, I knew that I wanted something like very. I knew that I wanted a relationship that was very different than any other sort of like relationship that I've had. Um,
Hmm.
and she was very spontaneous, very, um, I just very off the wall. Like didn't plan things.
Literally,
No, I think
Um,
on the
literally off the
wall
wall.
though. She
She
was
would
yeah,
on the
she would
wall.
climb walls,
yeah, yeah,
like in her
yeah. She
house,
would.
She
and then hold a
cut.
conversation. She's like, "How's it going, Gabe?" And she's like
I
fucking
sh-
hanging from our doorway.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
um, But so I think that it was very beneficial for me because up until that point I had been like very plan oriented, um,
Mm,
and I definitely learned how to become more just like kind of go with the flow, and it definitely took me some time to kind of get to that point. But now I think I have a pretty good blend of being
Type A,
spontaneous and
type
then
B.
also being able to plan things out when I need to be, and also
Mm.
just knowing when to plan things and when to just be like, yeah, it'll work out. Like I don't need to fucking plan this.
Mhm.
So I think that was a good takeaway from that. Yeah.
Joseph.
One thing that stuck with me, um, so the an artist that I still listen to him, but they had a lyric in their song, um, and it goes, "I got tricked into saying that I knew how I felt," and I think that's one that kind of resonated with me, and I feel like that happened quite a bit in both of my relationships where I not to say the right thing just to say it or like try to find the right thing, just to like say something,
Mm-hmm.
but like I would feel something in the moment or like for an extended period, like I would have an opinion on something and I would say it whether I truly believed it or not,
Mhm.
for better or worse. Um, not to say that I just always was trying to say the right things to please both of these people, but I really don't know how to explain it that well, but I know I remember the just that resonating with me is like I got tricked into saying that I knew how I felt, and I don't know, I've always, I get really wishy washy with my feelings a lot
Mm,
of the time, um, partially because of like my family, I think, which
Mm.
aren't very open with each other, which is it's whatever, it is what it is. I'm not saying it's good or bad, but
so
um,
it's like it's not like you weren't being honest. It's just you didn't have a
and
definitive grasp on
on what
how
it
like
was.
on how you were feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I definitely struggle wording my feelings. Not that they're not true
Same.
and honest, but like explaining that I'm definitely not the
Hmm.
best at. And so
Yeah.
that's something that I've learned about myself and I've definitely worked on and I'm continuing to work on.
Mhm.
But
Yeah. I definitely kind of feel similar to that too, where it's like there's a lot of things. I think the one of the biggest takeaways I had was being at tech and like especially hanging out with you guys. Sometimes we're kind of like an echo chamber where like we all kind of think in a very similar way. We're all in STEM. We all have the same humor, and like
Hmm.
Patty was just so vastly different that it like thinking wise, like not that it was a
Hmm.
bad thing. She just thought and processed information and feelings in such a different way than I've ever
Hmm.
experienced. And that was really eye opening for me to understand and like try and grasp, and there was times where it really frustrated me to the point where it probably frustrated her that I was frustrated.
Hmm.
And I learned a lot about having well, realizing how other people think and how some of them, and like going back to what Joseph said, is I never, and this kind of goes with love languages, I never really like said, I never really verbalized a whole lot, but that was something that was important to her, and I just never came from like a family that did that a whole lot. Like it just wasn't like a big
I almost
part
wonder
of.
if that's just like dudes in general.
It could be.
I think it is.
I
Yeah.
think
Like
it
I
is a big
think I
part.
think that kind of ties into like the whole like toxic masculinity thing, where a
Hmm.
lot of
That's
like
totally possible.
boys and then eventually when they turn into men, like they don't get that when they're like younger. Like they don't have like their fathers tell them like, "Oh hey, I love you, son," and like stuff like that.
Or
Mm-hmm.
just how to express any feeling.
But
Yeah.
I would even argue between my sisters and like obviously I don't know my sister's relationship nearly as well because I'm not,
In it.
but well yeah, because
Hmm.
it's two different people.
Right.
Hmm.
But I would say that even between them and like my mom and stuff, like my family just has that disconnect.
Okay.
Maybe not
Yeah.
disconnect, but that lack of as
It's not
intimate.
needed.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
Hmm.
like it's also just kind of like a bro thing too, where it's like when you're younger, it's like, yeah, boys don't cry. Like don't
Hmm.
you gotta be tough and like stoic and like don't express your feelings. Like just
Yeah.
be cool and tough. Like that's kind of just like how guy friends are. And I do feel
Yeah.
like that's changing, like generationally. It's getting better, but it also depends on your family and where you live, like where you grew up and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Like I imagine if you grew up in Portland versus like I don't know, Louisiana, like you're gonna
Yeah.
have a very, very different ideas or feel like personalities and feelings and how to think about feelings stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um,
But I
so
think even
maybe
in
it's a
our
little
group,
different.
we were kind of like that though. Like, there's obviously we're very good friends and we all care deeply for each other. But like, I'll just say "fuck you, Joseph," and he knows. Like he knows that I help him out if he needs help. Like it's just
I totally thought that you were gonna be like, sometimes I'll just say "fuck you, Joseph," and you know what? Joseph knows that he's about to get fucked.
Yeah.
I was gonna do that, but I was like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
To
Though.
remind him that none of us like him, you know.
Oh, please.
Listen, we were about to cut you out of the podcast, not me.
I'm trying to think
Um,
of ways like because I feel like I'm pretty open with my feelings and I'm decent at communicating them and I feel like I got that way not through my family because through my friends. Like I had one friend in high school who we always would just talk about feelings. Um, I don't even know how it started, kind of out of necessity, I suppose. Because he was always in a relationship and I was always curious about it, right? So I would ask a bunch of questions about how it was and stuff like that. Then we would end up talking about my feelings and back and forth and
What are girls like?
exactly. And
bags of sand.
if you don't get that reference, watch the 40-year-old version. It's a great fucking movie.
With Steve Carell, right? It's a great
Um,
movie.
and then also, I don't know, this might be a dumb answer, but it's like I feel like I became more open to talking about feelings through watching certain media, like certain TV shows and movies and certain music. Like I said, I feel like generationally, society is getting more open, and I feel like that's expressing itself more in media. And through watching certain things, I've realized like, oh yeah, it's okay to talk about this stuff. It's okay to talk
Yeah,
about this with your friends, your family, or a therapist, stuff like that.
yeah.
So,
Music alone, like, is definitely. I don't know. I guess I don't really know music 30, 40 years ago, but it
mhm,
seems like the ones that I listen to, a lot of the stuff I really stick with are stuff that's more profound to me. Like,
mhm,
um, there's one album that I never really gave a shit about. Like, I mean, it had great music, but the lyrics never meant anything to me. But now that I'm like going through this change in my life, it means a lot to me to like hear it and like see someone go through that same phase.
mhm,
Um,
yeah,
but yeah, I don't know. It definitely is getting better. I just, I don't. Are we wrapping up here soon?
yeah. Do you have
Yeah.
any final things you want to go over, Gabe?
Yeah, I just want to say like, I think that these conversations are necessary to go through that process, and it definitely like it feels it always sucks initially, but like it does
Mhm,
get better. Obviously, like I feel a lot better than I did when it first happened, and when I was like stuck in Michigan for a month waiting for my job to start. So I feel a lot better. So when people going through
yeah,
breakups, shit gets a lot better, and then work on yourself first. Don't fucking go head first into something when you're not emotionally ready, because that's a fucking mess.
yeah. I guess dating just. Do you have any tips for coping if
Have
you've
good friends.
talk about it?
Don't be
uh,
shitty. Don't be lame.
don't be.
Don't be lame.
I can't think of any off the top of my head now.
I have a short list I wrote when I first, um, like we first broke up, and I have, um, stay yourself. Don't go out of your way to be likable. Just focus on having fun first, and then go for other things if they happen. It's okay for there to be silence. It's an okay to be single. It's not a race. Don't compare. Use your time alone to pursue things you've never tried, and don't stay stagnant. And I find I read that a lot because it's very comforting for me to like reset
Hmm.
that
It's
information.
like a mantra for you.
Yeah, it definitely helps. So
Yeah, figure out how to be in your room for a Friday night by yourself.
I'm still struggling with that so much.
Here's the game. Here's the Jacob game plan. You go get a pizza. You grab a brewski, and you play games with the boys or watch a movie or something.
Yeah, no, I love having those nights every now and then, but it's still struggle to recondition myself again to reprocess how to view that time, that whole.
Fill the hole.
Gotta pork it with
Fill the
video
hole.
games.
Or
you
hit
have
with
to
video games.
fill the hole by going head first, right, Gabe?
Yep.
And on that note, that's the podcast. Thank you all for listening. Hopefully, you heard something that will help you out if you're going through something similar, or maybe in the future. I don't know, but hopefully this was helpful to you. I think it was helpful
bookmark
to
it
us
for
at
when you're
least.
about to break up with someone. And
Yeah, because our advice is the end all be all.
Yes.
It
Yeah,
definitely
we
is.
are your
Use
therapist.
authority on all this shit. Yeah. God, yeah. Please don't use this for therapy. Please go to a therapist if you feel
For
like
the
you need
love
it.
of God.
Jesus Christ.
You fucking idiot.
Again, you can find our show every Monday on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube, and you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at EWF Podcast. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.